Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Profit Data. So today exactly I'm gonna talk about this quantitative finance predicting stock prices and trading strategies in Python. Okay, so I've been already done a video. Please go through it. First part is very much important. This is an introductory part. Okay, so please go through it. I've been talked about some of the key points which is very much necessary to understand what I'm talking about right now. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. It will be on a higher side and it will be a complete different picture. Okay, so whatever I've been discussed here, those are the key points. Okay, so please go through these videos. I've been explained how we gonna take blender and gonna visualize things. Okay, so this is very much important, so please go through it. Okay, and we will definitely gonna take where we left off. Okay, so it is very much necessary, so you need to understand this unit. Okay, unit circle. Okay, and x and y axis, this point and all of the formula. So this is very much important formula which I'm going to discuss many times. Okay, so very much necessary. So this is our polar form, and especially when we are getting this cos theta and sin theta. So today we will discuss about this in evolution, say how it's get origin. Okay, so we'll discuss about the origin and we will move further. Okay, so this part is very much necessary. So how we will deal all those things, so it is very much required. Okay, so please go through it. This part is very much necessary because we already discussed about the angles and how we take the quadrant, this plus and minus. Okay, and how we get the degrees. Okay, what are the x and y coordinates, why we require these things. So this is very much necessary. Okay, so this is a complete picture is there in this category. I've been discussed each and everything and how you can take all those things and can utilize in our further upcoming things. Right now we will discuss about this unit circle. So we will talk, we'll exactly take where we left off. Okay, so we'll take this unit circle, and you already know there is a x and y axis is there. Okay, so we'll take this part. This we will called as an y axis. Okay, this we will call as an x axis. Okay, so now what happens, this is referred as an imaginary. Okay, and this is referred as an real. So this is in complex plane. Okay, so you need to understand this is referred as an imaginary as an y axis, and this is referred as an x axis. Okay, so there is a already point is there which we say, okay, which we say as a point p x comma y. Okay, and which we can also called as like whatever cosine comma sine. So we can refer this as an x and y axis as cos comma sine. Okay, cos x axis and sine x, cos theta, sine theta. So whatever if you are referring an angle, this can be called as in cos theta and sine theta. So this is how we refer. Okay, so we already know to get this point, now we need to travel through some axis. Okay, so when we are getting this Cartesian coordinates, we exactly need to travel from this x value and y value. So this we referred as an x and this we referred as an y. Okay, now this can be called as an whatever we saying as an x axis can be called as an cosine function, and whatever this y value will be there, which we can refer as in sine. Okay, so this is very much important. Okay, and when we are getting from this origin to this point, this can be called as an radius. Okay, so this can be referred as an length itself. This x and y axis can be referred this and as an length itself, and this theta, whatever the means degree we mention as in theta, and we refer this as an angle. Okay, so now the angle is formed, and this is right angle triangle. So this is very much important. So this is 90-degree and x and y axis is formed, and this is we called as an right angle triangle. So this is very much important factor which we are today we are referring. So this is what we said, this is always in 90-degree. Okay, so this is how we refer in right angle triangle. Okay, so now when we are traveling through this x and y axis, okay, say suppose when we are reaching this point, okay, we are referring how we travel through this point 1 2 3, and how we say 1 2 3. Okay, so now this x axis and y axis will be the same. So this will be this side will be a positive and this side will be a negative. So that's how we traveling here. Okay, so that's how we are getting. So if we say right hand side, it will be a positive, left hand side negative, and when we are getting to the upwards towards the axis, we called as an positive 1 2 3, and when we are getting downwards y axis, we can call as a negative. Okay, so that's how we travel. Okay, so to get this point, now what happens, to get this point P, as in we can travel two ways. Now we can travel in Cartesian form. Another way is we can travel through this polar form. So suppose if we don't have x and y axis, okay, only radius is there and angle is there. Okay, based on that one, we exactly can get through x and y axis. So this is the beauty of this picture. Okay, some of the things which been already like r is there and already theta is there, so we can like get in as an x axis and y axis. Okay, so we are getting this form in a complete picture. Okay, so we can travel in two ways, x axis, y axis, and through polar coordinates. So we are getting through this hypotenuse r, so if we get this length and this angle, we can form x and y axis. And if we want to get as and vice versa, so suppose we want to get in this polar form from Cartesian to polar. Okay, we can go through this by applying this polar form, which is I already told you how we can go for, like if it is in x, so what we say, x equals so I already told you, please watch that video, it will be very much helpful. So if it is x is there, what we gonna do, x equals r cos theta. Okay, so we include r and cos theta. Okay, so we include the length and distance, and we get to know about x and same as with y. Okay, so that's how we get to know x and y. Okay, so this is very much required to get this cosine and sine. Okay, so we'll discuss about the sine and cosine. Okay, what are the things are there, and then we first we will discuss about the trigonometric functions, then we will get to the derivative, and then we will get to the slope. So this is very much important. So this is a basic. Now been already discussed this a small concept. So this is how we travel. Okay, so suppose if you got this r and this angle, so you get to know about x and y axis. Same as with this, if you get to know about x and y axis, two things you can get to know about r and theta, which we say as an hypotenuse, this we say as an hypotenuse, this will say an adjacent, and this we will cause an opposite. Okay, so these are the things is required. Now when we get in our formula, we will discuss more. Okay, so this is our unit circle, so this is done. Now this is a smaller part. Okay, so what have been already discussed in the first part, you may be good to know this is a bigger picture. No, but there is already bigger picture is there. So we'll now discuss about this origin, and then we will get into deeper and deeper. Okay, so we'll see this part. Okay, so suppose if we are getting this thing, so how we consider this a unit circle. Okay, how the origin is started. Okay, so when we are getting these things, okay, there is a number plane is there, which we have been already done, like positive and negative. Okay, which we already called as an x-axis. So this we say as a number plane, and the mid with whatever we get this this mid taking, say suppose if we are taking the midpoint, so this we called as an origin. Okay, so from this it started. If we are getting to the right side, it will be positive numbers 1 2 3, and when we are getting left hand side, it will be like negative numbers -1 -2 and -3. So that's how we get here. Okay, so this is the number plane which we already know. So this is very much simple form. So this is an horizontal, and which we can in other form, which we say as in horizontal, and we also refer as an x-axis. Now we are referring as a number plane, okay, and it's in plane form, so we are referring as in this part. And say suppose if it is in horizontal, same thing, which will make transpose of this thing. Okay, so what we say, we'll take one more number plane, same origin will be the same for any of the horizontal or vertical, the origin should be same. Okay, now if you get to know, so this is our Cartesian, so this is already know unit circle, and within we have a Cartesian. So this is like this is especially in an vertical form, okay, and number plane. So if we are getting upwards, you know, we are referring as an +1, same with will do like 1 2 and 3. So this is how we go, -1, -2 and -3. Okay, so that's how we are doing. So positive and negative, if it is an upwards we are getting positive, if it is downwards we are getting negative. Okay, and so suppose if we are considering these things as in, you know, 1, okay, as in -1, okay, within this we got an unit circle. The bigger picture. Now smaller picture is, say suppose if we are like, you know, we have done some coordination, so this will be our positive side, this will be a negative side, and same way which we are touching here as well. Okay, so this is we can consider as in our unit plane, unit circle. Okay, so this is how we formed over there. So we are touching -1, -1, 1, 1. So that's how we are getting. Okay, so this is like, you know, positive axis, x-axis. So from 0, comma, you know, so this is how we start, plus, minus, and how we get originated. That's how we call 0, comma 1. Okay, and you know, we'll get about this quadrant. Okay, first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. For plus minus, please refer for the first video. I've been explained a lot in over there. Okay, so we'll definitely gonna help. So here we take as in positive, here we take as in minus, plus, and here originally minus, and then minus, plus. Okay, so this is the bigger picture. This we called as an y-axis, this we called as an x-axis, and in same this unit circle gets about. Okay, and we, like, you know, expand these things 2 times, 1 time, so whatever it is there. So that's how we refer this circle. So we'll get a bigger and bigger picture. Okay, so that's how we are going for this thing. So this is the required. So this is the version of this unit circle. Okay, so we already discussed this complex numbers. Okay, right now we discuss about this all of the x and y. So we'll say as in this is in Cartesian form. We can simply say as in, if we are getting with the Cartesian x and y axis, we can say as in Cartesian, and we can say this is as in polar. Okay, and I must say, please watch that video which is related to CNC machine plotter, V-plotter, which have been done in my videos. I've been recorded some stuff, and I've been done an Arduino project, so please go through it. So all of the things which I'm definitely gonna use in my future project. So I will discuss all of the applications. Okay, so this is the theory which is very much required, you know, future upcoming projects. You can include this part in your machine learning and you know, in your artificial intelligence and further stuff. Okay, so this is the basic maths which you need to understand. Okay, so from, like, you know, as I already told you, this x and y axis are very much necessary. So if you need to travel a point, x and y axis is very much required. Okay, so these are 2 things which you can get, x and y. This is in Cartesian coordinates, same as with this polar coordinates, you can get to these points. Okay, so this is all you know, evolve around. So, you know, when we are getting this points, this x and y coordinates are very much necessary. So when we are dealing this factor, okay, x and y coordinates are very much necessary. So how we gonna utilize in our graph, in our chart, I'm gonna show you right now. Okay, when we are talking about these things, okay, so, you know, when we say about this and x and y axis, we know that our you know, chart is evolve around y and x axis. The main reason I am getting this basic maths, okay, and the data which we take, it like go with this itself. Okay, so this we refer as an price, and this we refer as an time. Okay, so this is very much important, which you need to remember. So that's how we go. Okay, and in between our stock prices. Okay, so this is how we are referring. Okay, so this is we need to understand. So when we are getting through this one, it is like getting with the price and time. And when we like get evolve with the calculus, so now I am getting into bigger picture. When we say as in slope, so how we refer y and x-axis. So we are getting through y and x-axis. So this is our what we are referring. So this will be our when we consider this slope, we exactly know this we referred as an cos, and this we referred as an sine. Now whatever we are saying, sine divided by cos, what we say as an tan. So we saw this origin of sine, we saw this origin of cos, and then we exactly evolve around tan. So these are the trigonometry functions which we are talking about. So why I am talking about these things, because this x and y is evolved, and this how the origin becomes. This is how the calculation gets bigger and bigger. This is how we get evolve around. Okay, so this is very much important factor. So whatever discussing right now, which will come into bigger and bigger picture. Okay, so this is the basic part of the data science which I am referring right now. And when you get into machine learning, these are the same concepts which we discuss over and over. So this is very much required. So we are not getting any of other factors, which we are just referring x and y axis. Okay, we get to know about. So slope is we definitely refer delta y, delta x, and then we get to know about this tangent. So if we want to refer this any of the things which we say as in tangent line itself, so a point will be there, and we get to know about this slope. So slope is very much important. Say any of the stocks is moving upwards, so we can in slope which we referred as an steep. Okay, so now which we say as in it is in moving towards a positive side, or it is in like which we say as an upside or downside, which we refer. Okay, especially in our side. Okay, which we'll say as in downside or upside. Okay, so we'll say this as an steep. When we consider as this is steep, so this we will say as an steeper, and this we will say as an less steep. Okay, so this is how we get to know about, like when we like steeper in the less steep, in the sense we are exactly climbing. Okay, and when we say this is in like whatever we referred as in this if it is in this format, and when we are bending towards little bit here, we say this is a greater steep and this is a lesser steep. Okay, so that's how we calculate. And some of the things which we are discussing, this is entirely y and x, and this x axis. So whatever the change in y, it is dependent change in x. So this is how also we can refer our slope, change in y. Okay, change in y divided by change in x. Okay, so it is very much dependent, and we call as dependent, independent. Okay, so whatever the things, if it is a time is changing, same as the price is also changing. Okay, so something is dependent to something. So that's how we are getting into this factor. Okay, especially when we evolve this math. So this is how the necessity of taking y axis and x axis, and getting into slope is very much important. Okay, so we'll discuss this further. Okay, so let's see about this trigonometric functions in clear depth. Okay, and trigonometric functions, derivative, slope, especially calculus derivative. Okay, from Python perspective, you exactly required a library, which is a wonderful library, I must say, which I must say that you can like get in with this Python. So direct your Python wherever it is available. Please direct to your Python wherever it is available and say pip install SymPy. Okay, so this is required, I've been already done installation. Okay, so please go through it. So this is very much required library to understand the calculus especially, okay, which you can refer the documentation. So just please go through it. Just install, say pip install simpy, okay, and we are good to go. And I'm going to show you how we gonna import, and then we will discuss further. So my requirement is already satisfied. So these are the libraries which is included. Okay, so our installation is done, and that's how you can follow. To import simpy, just a from simpy import star. Okay, and if you want to get further, if you want to plot the charts, okay, we'll say from simpy dot plotting import plot. Okay, so this is how we exactly refer our library, and we will get started on these things. Okay, so say suppose if we got our I just show you a simple things which we get around, okay, and the basic of calculus and further each and everything. So these are the two things is very much required. So I must say that if you are getting started, please get installed, and try to go with these things. Okay, and the code part I will definitely gonna paste in my website, which I will give the link, so please go through it. Okay, so for installation part and the basic understanding we have been done. Okay, so we will definitely gonna go through this one. Okay, so please do install and get started. Okay.